your Storm Tracker 13 forecast first. Sponsored by George Sink Injury Lawyers.
Nice calm weather across the area this evening, although it has been on the warm side. Viper 13 real-time radar completely clear right now. We are going to stay dry overnight tonight, and skies will stay clear. Temperatures right now in the 80s, some spots cooling into the 70s already, and we will be down into the 70s for our overnight lows. Our forecast for tonight, mainly clear, heating back up tomorrow, more sunshine back into the 90s. I'll have a look at how long this hot weather is going to last coming up.
Right now on News 13, escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran after American forces launch a fifth straight day of strikes. Plus, a PD animal rescue comes to the aid of a Georgetown County animal shelter after authorities rescued more than 100 dogs in connection with an animal abuse case.
Coverage you can count on at 11 starts now.
Wanted to Nikki that my child was molested in this building. Nikki told me that nothing like this had never happened.
New tonight, emotions ran high, as you just heard, as dozens of parents and community members packed a meeting at a Pawleys Island church after learning a registered sex offender had been volunteering at the church's school. Good evening, I'm Adriana Lawrence. 7-year-old Warren Perry was arrested Tuesday, accused of violating his probation by working in close proximity to children. He was convicted in 2023 on a third-degree sexual exploitation of a minor charge from 2020. News 13's Jordan Titus is live in the newsroom tonight. And Jordan, what did church leaders and parents have to say?
Adriana, during the tense community meeting, emotions boiled over as families asked how a convicted sex offender was allowed to volunteer at the school. Take a listen.
No, you don't. You're reading from a script. You're not sorry. Speak to us as parents. You are guilty.
Dozens of people filled Pawleys Island Community Church Wednesday night, demanding answers after learning a registered sex offender had been volunteering at the church's school.
Trust is earned, especially in moments like this. Our goal tonight is straightforward: explain how we got here, and to explain what actions have already been taken.
Church leaders say they knew about Warren Perry's conviction, but believed he was following the conditions of his probation while under what they called strict supervision.
At this point, we have absolutely no evidence that any child at Pitt or Pica was abused or harmed by Mr. Perry. None.
I wanted to Nikki that my child was molested in this building.
He explained why he didn't tell teachers or parents about Perry's criminal history. The room erupted.
This is a family. You tell your family. Our kids are not a lottery system.
Now, the pastor later admitted church leaders made the wrong call when deciding who should be confirmed. He says Perry was removed from campus and announced immediate changes, including expanded background checks and a review of their safety and communications process. One parent we spoke with after the meeting says those reassurances did little to ease their concern.
I'm not sure that they could win back my trust. Oh no, the pastor was making a formality, trying to placate people, make himself look good. I mean, it's obvious that he's just a little robot.
She says she got a call Monday about Perry's background.
And I said, who is it? And she said, are you sure you want to know? And I said, yes, I want to know. And she said, it's Mr. Warren. And I said, well, my kids talk about him all the time. And he is always around when I pick up. He's always around.
Perry was arrested Tuesday for violating his probation. And according to online records, the 70-year-old was released on bond this morning. We reached out to the church for a comment, but did not hear back. Live in the newsroom, Jordan Titus, News 13.
Jordan, thank you. New tonight, prison time for one man in connection with a deadly shooting in Dillon County. Cruz Harley pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter and a gun charge in the April 2022 shooting of Brian Ford. Prosecutors say Harley shot the 40-year-old in a convenience store parking lot on Highway 301. He was later arrested by U.S. Marshals in Virginia. The judge sentenced Cruz to 29 years in prison. U.S. Central Command says forces launched 2 waves of strikes against Iran today. Tehran says the first operation hit Iranian army barracks, killed at least 7 troops, and wounded more than 260 people across the country. The U.S. military also put the naval blockade on Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz back in place after recent Iranian attacks on commercial ships. President Trump warned Iran he has not ruled out attacking civilian infrastructure.
Are you giving Iran a deadline before you start bombing bridges?
I don't like giving deadlines, but they pretty much know. They know the story.
So are you meeting?
They better behave.
In response to the blockade, Iran's Revolutionary Guard threatened to cut off other shipping corridors, including a narrow waterway off the coast of Yemen that links the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels control Yemen's coastline and have repeatedly attacked commercial vessels in the Red Sea. While the U.S. Senate is considering President Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Justice, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche faced questions from lawmakers on Capitol Hill today. News Nation Washington correspondent Gabrielle Caracciolo has a look at his testimony.
The questioning covered a lot of ground, and despite the Republican majority, this confirmation is not guaranteed.
Nothing but the truth.
Before the Senate Judiciary Committee, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche defended his record to the lawmakers considering his confirmation.
And I'm here today to earn your trust.
Among the issues up for debate, Blanche's time as President Trump's personal lawyer before becoming deputy and then acting Attorney General.
The Department of Justice has to remain independent.
The fact that I represented President Trump for a period of time, under 2 years, does not define my career.
One president appointed his brother.
He did, Senator.
Blanche also faced questions about his handling of the Epstein files.
To apologize to them for the mishandling and mistakes that were made.
Any mistake that was made is not appropriate. And so, yes, I am sorry that in about 1% of the documents, mistakes were made.
And the president's pardons for January 6th rioters who attacked Capitol Police.
Do you think that blanket pardon by the president of January 6 rioters was the right thing to do?
The Constitution gives the president the full power to pardon anybody for any reason he wants.
Lawmakers are divided on his qualifications.
You're eminently qualified to serve as Attorney General.
I believe that all senators should be opposing his nomination. This is not even close.
It only takes one Republican voting no to stop this confirmation from moving out of committee, and Republican Senators Tom Tillis and John Cornyn are not on the ballot in November, so they've become a bit of a wild card here. I'm Gabrielle Caracciolo, News Nation, Washington.
Florence police and the county coroner's office work to identify a person found dead inside a car. Police say the body was found today on Sewanee Avenue after a homeowner reported a foul odor. Officials say the vehicle sat unused on the property for a long time. The body will be sent for an autopsy to determine a cause of death. And an investigation is underway in Robeson County after crews found a bone on this construction site. The sheriff's office says workers found the bone yesterday while moving dirt. A search of the site turned up more bone fragments. At last word, officials had not determined if the bones are human. Well, after decades of water quality and wastewater issues, the city of Florence has a new water resources director. Sarah Hickman will oversee water production operations at both surface water and groundwater treatment plants. A Florence native, Hickman has worked in the water quality and wastewater management field for nearly 20 years. She says her commitment to water quality allowed her to bring her knowledge back home.
I'm ready for the challenge, and the city's already done a lot to help address some of these issues, like investing in a SCADA system, which allows for real-time monitoring, also adding assets to the GIS system and doing upgrades at the GE groundwater plant. And there's also upgrades coming down the pipeline at the surface water treatment plant and the other groundwater facilities.
Hickman previously worked for the City of Columbia Metro Wastewater Treatment Plant, the largest wastewater treatment facility in South Carolina. A Florence County Animal Rescue is helping the St. Francis Animal Shelter in Georgetown County after the recent rescue of more than 100 dogs. Last week, we told you deputies found the dogs along with nearly a dozen cats in a home in the Wedgefield subdivision in what authorities call unlivable condition. Investigators also found 125 dead dogs on the property. Myra Horowitz, founder and CEO of Lucky Dog Animal Rescue, says they took in 18 dogs from St. Francis and hope to take in more.
To be honest, everyone is over capacity right now, including Lucky Dog. But given the severity of this situation, given the fact that the shelter was at 300% of capacity before the sheriff brought these 100 animals to their location, we knew we had to step in and help.
Horowitz hopes to send the 18 dogs and their care to foster homes in the Washington, D.C. area in the next 2 weeks. And you'll find all of our coverage on the animal cruelty case at WBTW.com. Frank.
And after a couple of cool days, it started to heat back up again today. Temperatures back to normal with more sunshine than we've seen recently. Those clear skies continue across the area right now. I'll have a look at how long we'll see the sunny, dry weather coming up.